What about Christians' historical record? Let's use the crucifixion, probably the most important event in the history of mankind. What does Islam do? What does this book do with the crucifixion? Well, in one verse, it shuts down the crucifixion. Has another man die in Jesus' place, puts him on the cross instead of Jesus, saying that there was no crucifixion. And in one verse, it just shut down everything we know about Jesus Christ. That's what the Quran does. Is that historical? No. Why don't we go back to the evidence from the first and second century? Why don't we go back to Thales and Phlegon, these two Greeks, Samaritan historian and Roman writer, who were debating this event in 52 AD. That's 20 years after Christ's death. And in the debate, they mentioned that when Christ died, the earth shook and the sun went dark. Don't you think you'd rather trust them than the Quran that was written in the 7th and 8th century? I'd go to the 1st century, wouldn't you? What about Lucian the Greek satires that refers to the death of Jesus Christ? Or Mara bar Serapin, who has a letter to the pagan in 73 AD? Or what about the Jewish historian Josephus, who between 83 and 90 AD not only talks about the death of Jesus, but he mentions also the brother of Jesus, James' death, and he mentions that the Christians believe that Jesus rose from the dead. Ooh, I love that. And then what are we going to do with Tacitus? A Roman historian who hated Christians, had nothing good to say about Christianity, yet he talked about the death of Jesus. He said that it happens during the time of Pontius Pilate under the rule of Tiberius. That's why we know it was in 33 AD, because of Tacitus. So I've given you Greek, Roman, and Jewish historians from the 1st and 2nd century who all agree that it was Jesus who was on the cross.